So here we are for the Australasian launch of Yamaha's all-new Ténéré 700. This is an amazing new bike that kind of fills a hole that a lot of people have been waiting for in the mid-capacity adventure market. The first thing we need to talk about with this bike is the price. At just over 17 grand right away, it comes in significantly lower than other bikes in this market. Yeah, it doesn't have a few of the nitty-gritty features on it, but Yamaha's kind of taken the focus away from having a bike that you can take off-road and kind of focus more on fulfilling the dream of what Australian riders want. In the past, they've built bikes, previous Ténérés, that are more 80% road, 20% off-road. This time they've flipped it completely on its head. It's not necessarily what they're going to sell. It's not necessarily what the market demands globally, but it's what a lot of people dream. So to be able to have a bike that's so good off-road and then you can still do a bunch of riding on-road very comfortably, it's an awesome machine. So this new Ténéré shares the engine from the much liked, awesome bike, the MT-07 street bike. Since launching that bike in 2014, Yamaha was really interested in how this bike performed. It's a very, very linear engine that is great because you can chug the thing along in a real high gear, or you can rev the thing to the moon, and it's very manageable. And without having traction control or any of the other features apart from switchable on and off ABS, it works really well because you've got a great connection between the throttle and the rear wheel, which has been a big focus for Yamaha with this bike. They've kept the price down and focused this bike at more traditional adventure riders, guys that want to go out, that have kind of life after trail riding or love going that extra few hundred kilometers a day and camping out with their mates. So this bike weighs in at around just over 204 kilos wet, and you get just over 300 kilometers to a tank, which has been awesome for us because we've been on a 3-day launch here, riding from Port Macquarie up and around to Tamworth, and the bike is amazing and the fuel economy is even better. So let's talk about how the bike performs on the trail. First off, it works really, really well. The KYB front and rear suspension's quite impressive. If you push the thing hard and kind of ride it like an enduro bike, yeah, it'll bottom and find its limits, but having the adjustable preload on the rear was really good too. We went up 4 clicks on the rear and it just kind of pushed the bike forward so it wasn't raking and made the fork a lot more plusher and more capable. So this bike really is capable for a wide range of riders. With 3 seat height options aftermarket, you can go from a real short seat for your guy that's on the shorter end of the spectrum right through to the standard seat, which was great for my height, about 6 foot. Or you could step up another further and put what they call a rally seat on there, which is just a little bit more padding and levels the bike out, which was good once you're on the trail, especially in the bush, because you could get further forward on the tank and get more weight over the front wheel. So Yamaha's taken a few components like the engine off the MT-07, but apart from that, the bike's new from the ground up, with a frame suited to the bike, with the KYB suspension, with Brembo brakes, with solid spoked wheels. The thing is really good. We were running Pirelli's Scorpion Rally tyres on this bike, which did make a big difference off-road, and they were still really good on-road too. So to be able to have some decent tyres hooking up in the bush was good because, once again, you didn't need that traction control or any of those other features because you just had the feel between the throttle and the rear wheel, which made it a blast to ride. Like, we're riding some really fun, fast, flowy fire trail where you just be able to have the thing sliding around a few corners, or then you just pop straight out of the bush, do 60, 70K worth of road stuff where you're cruising along at 110, 120, and the bike felt super stable, and just it laid into a corner and it just hooked up and rocketed out, and it was really good. Also, the styling stands out a lot to us with this bike. They've taken a bit of inspiration from their rally bike that they use for Dakar with a front head shield and the 4 LEDs. It looks angry. It's a good looking bike. It looks aggressive and it rides really well. And that paired with their simple but very good dash that gives you everything you want to read out, with a select mode on it, so you can go through outside temperatures, set different trips, just the basics, but everything works extremely well. So that's our first impression of Yamaha's all-new Ténéré 700. Stay tuned to Transmoto for some more upcoming in-depth rider interviews and more interviews with the lead designers of this bike.